All right, the return of Ben-ifer. Could it be Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner trying to work out their differences?
Like the sound of that a lot. Here to talk about this and more, Heidi Hamilton from the Frosty, Heidi and Frank Show and Dish Nation. And we're so happy to hear this about them getting back together. Because,
wait, are they back together?
well, they never got divorced.
Here's the thing. I've researched it all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did my work. Looked it up. A lot of different directions this thing is going. They were going to get divorced. Then they're not going to get divorced. They're not necessarily together. But here's the thing with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Even when they were broken up and they were going to go through with the divorce, they have 3 kids together. I think what's really cool what they did is they would still vacation as a family. They would still get together. He would still come over. They would still be, they tried to keep the family together as much as possible. Now today we're hearing we're not going to go through with the divorce. They're not necessarily getting back together, but they're just not going to file divorce papers. And then the other side is also saying, no, everything is still moving forward. But neither one of them really want to get divorced. I mean, they just want to stick together for the kids. And, a lot of times I never really get too invested in Hollywood couples because it's like, if they break up, that's a shame, but I don't really, I like them. Like, I want it to work. I just think they're a cute family. So whether they get divorced or not, I think it's cool what they're doing. It's sort of like with Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin, what they did. It's like the conscious uncoupling. It's like, well, maybe we're still going to be legally married, but kind of do our own thing. And when you travel as much as actors do, it's like you can kind of
never had that publicly bitter, awful, horrendous moment in the media.
Right. And they've kind of kept it classy. And I think a big part of that's because they got the 3 kids. And so he's involved, she's involved, and they're trying to just stay together as a family.
Yeah, it's basically co-parenting situation.
Yeah, but they're not the only couple in Hollywood. I mean, Pink and Carrie Hart, they had announced that they were going to get divorced. And then they got back together, and now they're very happily still married and got 2 kids. And Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman were going to get divorced, and they figured out, after 30 years of marriage, they figured out, stayed together. Snoop Dogg and his wife announced they were getting divorced and then figured it out and made it work and are still together and happy. So it does happen.
It does happen.
So, yeah, maybe you go, let's take it slow, and maybe we'll change our mind, or maybe it'll make us work a little bit harder, and we'll be better than we were, before.
All right,
for the best.
Talk concerts. Ed Sheeran, get your tickets now.
Oh, my God. Well, Ed Sheeran, we talked about this on Dish, that he told a story back when he was 22 years old, and he's like one of Taylor Swift's BFFs.
Yeah.
And she's one of the biggest stars, in America. And so he's on tour with her, and he said that it was so crazy because Taylor Swift, a great wing woman, by the way. A lot of guys are like, oh, I need a great wingman. But I think better than a wingman is a wing woman, and what better wing woman than Taylor Swift? So he's on tour with Taylor, and she's best friends with supermodels. Like, they're all over the place. And Ed Sheeran said in Rolling Stone magazine, he's like, it would be crazy because I would be on tour as a 22-year-old sort of up-and-comer, and he would wake up in the morning with a supermodel next to him, and he would look and go, how did that happen? And we kind of joked with, I'm sure the supermodel woke up and looked at Ed Sheeran and went, oh no, how did that happen? How much did I drink last night?
Fabulous.
No.
I love his voice.
Oh my
Very
God,
talented.
seriously. That's what we talked about too. We're like, listen, you give a guy a guitar and he can sing like Ed Sheeran does, it's like you're an automatic 10.
He is so talented.
Oh my God. That does make him sexy.
And
but
sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
All of that.
But yeah, Taylor Swift is a good wing woman to have. She gives her stamp of approval, and the girls he had his pick of women, which is kind of cool.
Let's talk about Sophia Vergara.
Yeah.
Because she is so in love with her husband. They're both so beautiful.
They're just stunning.
But they share a tender moment, too.
Yeah, they had their year anniversary, and I think year anniversary is paper. So, sometimes when you're trying to come up with a good gift, you're like, paper, what do I do? Well, he decided to write his bride. He wrote a book for her. Now,
it's love.
Yes, yeah, it's like the story of us. And it's not like a big novel. It's 40 pages long. But he did that for her, gave it to her as a year anniversary present, and said that, and it's just that how he met her, how he saw her. He heard in the news that she was getting a divorce from Nick Loeb, that they were breaking up. And so he reached out to Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Divorced. They were married.
Well, yeah, they were engaged. They were going to call that off. They're broken up. And he reaches out to Jesse Tyler Ferguson and says, hey, listen, I heard she's single. Do you
have her number?
Can you? So Jesse Tyler Ferguson gives Joe Manganiello Sophia Vergara's number, and then he flew, I think, to New Orleans and had a date with her. And so in the book that he wrote for her, it's the story of how
he
they
didn't
met.
waste any time, did he?
No. I mean, I've seen both of them in person separately. And they're stunning. Like she's just, I almost felt like a guy in the moment where she's talking, because I was interviewing her for one of her movies, and I was just, like staring at her, and I was like, stop, because it was just like you just want to look at her because she's so pretty.
She is
and
gorgeous.
Joe's the same way. He's just this massive man. So I'm happy for them. They're obviously an adorable couple, and he's Mr. Romantic. My goodness, yeah,
very nice. Every girl's dream. All right, Heidi, thanks so much. You can hear Heidi every morning on Frosty, Heidi, and Frank weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 95.5 KLOS Radio, and see her weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Dish Nation. That's right here on Fox 11.
And Frosty and Frank show, night shift, working us like dogs. 9 to 11 tonight.
Working night
Check
and day.
No break.
We'll be right back.